Today, we join the president of Kenetrek Boots, Jim Winjum, on his quest for a stone sheep. Jim is an avid sheep hunter, and the stone is the last ram he needs to complete his North American Grand Slam. Jim was fortunate enough to draw a special hunt during the Foundation for North American Wild Sheep's Western Hunting Expo. He knows how tough stone sheep hunting can be and decided to hunt with Canadian Mountain View Paradise Outfitters. MVP Outfitters has one of the best stone sheep areas in the world, and they're widely recognized for having some of the most successful guides in the business. Jim knew he was in good hands and has been eagerly waiting for his trip into their remote wilderness camp. It's spectacular scenery coupled with a once-in-a-lifetime hunt, and it's all coming up right here on the Explorer's Big Game Journal.
When you arrive for a backpack hunt, you'll land at the airstrip, and when you get ready to go, you pack everything you're going to need for the entire hunt. 10-day hunt on your back, including your, right from your sleeping bag and thermarest to cook set, tent, water, your food, your optics, your clothing, rain gear, all on your back, and away you go. And from there, you hike up from the valley floor to above skyline, above timber, and from there you're gonna set up your spike camp there, do some glassing, and once you get to where you need to be, you hunt that spot, and then you want to move, you pack everything up and you start off again. So you're always hunting with your backpack on.
Well, my quest for the Grand Slam started when I went to a FNAWS convention in 1987. Just, being a kid from Montana, I mean, I'd always hunted big game in our state, but I didn't really realize that you had the opportunity to take these other species, and the species are the desert bighorn, the Rocky Mountain bighorn, the stone sheep, and the Dall sheep. And one thing led to another, and I kind of started down that road. Never really thought I would ever complete it, but for whatever reason, I was very lucky over the years and drew some really good tags, and I had some people help me out along the way, and was able to take 3 of the species. So the only one that I was missing was the stone sheep. Again, at the FNAWS convention, exactly, 20 years later, they have an extravaganza drawing where it's just like a raffle drawing. They raffle off several different hunts, and basically bought as many tickets as I could justify and dropped them in the barrel, and they drew my name, for one of these hunts. So it's very, very exciting for me to be able to have a chance at completing a Grand Slam. I still, pinch myself because I can't even imagine that I have the opportunity to complete a Grand Slam.
Another 100 yards and we're there, Jim. We made it. I'm just going to set up camp on this side of the ridge and then for the night, and kind of sneak over and do some glassing on the other side.
We'll continue with our spectacular stone sheep hunt right after this.
Hello, I'm Jim Winjum, the president of Kenetrek Boots. We're on a stone sheep hunt in the beautiful mountains of northern British Columbia. One of the things that you'll quickly find out if you're on one of these hunts is how important your footwear is. The mountains are rugged, the weather sometimes is absolutely brutal, and if you don't have good boots, you'll be in sorry shape very quickly. On this trip, we have all used the new Kenetrek Mountain Extreme boot. It's incredibly comfortable, very supportive, has a awesome high traction outsole, which really helps in the rocks, especially when it's wet and slippery. But most importantly is how lightweight this boot is. 10 years ago, this boot would have weighed 5 pounds. Now they come in at a little bit less than 4. The boots are available at any of our many Kenetrek dealers, or you can visit our website at kenetrek.com. On this hunt, we saw 9 grizzly bears. We saw countless caribou, many elk, unbelievable amount of moose. And the weather, because it's in the mountains, and it is British Columbia, it's known for quite a bit of moisture, and we lost our share of days to weather. We just sat through a absolutely awful rainstorm. Lasted a good couple hours, probably dumped an inch, maybe even 2 inches of rain. But it's cleared off nice now, and hopefully all the animals will get up and start moving, so it's time to go back to work. Same old spotting scope, same old terrain, just more of it.
On the morning of day 5, we had just packed up our camp and we started heading over the ridge, and we just stopped to get some water, had a little creek below a patch of snow, and we spotted some sheep come around the hillside there, and they were sliding across, feeding along, and we sat down and let them kind of feed our way. Eventually they went right up on the snow patch, and there was two small rams there. One was probably a 3-year-old and one was a 6-year-old. They were playing around on the snow, chasing each other, and the one little ram was kind of testing how tough he was with the bigger ram, and they were butting heads a little, and he was kind of hooking at him. So it was a pretty neat experience. That was our first up close opportunity at some sheep on the hunt, and we had a pretty good time that time, but it just didn't work out, not a big enough ram. On the last morning of the hunt, right away we spotted some sheep up on the hill across the basin from where we had camped. So we quickly packed up our stuff and we made a mad dash over there. We'd spotted one ram that looked to be decent, so we snuck around the backside and come up over the top. The ram eventually, he had eluded us, but so we kind of snuck along the hillside, and we ended up sneaking up on a band of sheep. There was, I think, 5 or 6 ewes and one small ram there. And the one ewe, she picked us off, and she hopped right up and come right our way, and she walked into, I think it was 25 yards, and was very curious. She eventually, all the other ones wanted to come and have a look at us. And these sheep, they've never seen people. And it's so remote that they don't get a chance to see, so they all come over and checked us out, seeing what we were all about, and eventually they just fed off away from us. It was a pretty neat deal. The one thing is there just wasn't a shooter ram there, and I guess that sometimes happens with this sheep hunting, and you can't do nothing about it. This hunt we were limited with time a little bit. We lost a couple days due to weather, and I mean, stuff happens and you gotta move on.